everyone, it's Wacky Animative here. Here's Bazenshial Whip. What if Subaru had Killer Queen Part 2? Let's go and get into it. Currently, Subaru Natsuki is witnessing an exchange between Felt and Amelia. As Felt walks towards Amelia, about to hand her insignia, placing it directly into her hand, or about to, Subaru feels something off. Immediately, he whispers out Killer Queen, because he feels something stalking around, something sinister, and he feels an awful aura that no one else can really feel right now. He doesn't know why. As he looks around, seeing absolutely nothing, thinking he might be a little bit more paranoid than before. After all, he just spawned in the world. He's basically at level 1. It's not like they're going to just drop a boss on him immediately, are they? Before all of a sudden, he swears he hears boss music in his head, and he thinks it's just my imagination. But just in case, he immediately pulls out his wallet, gets a 100 yen coin directly out, and just puts it into his hand. He says, just in case. And then he grabs another one and says, just in case. As he pulls out like 5 100 yen coins and puts them all directly in his hand. And puts it in like a shooting motion to where he'll just immediately flick the coin if anything bad happens. Immediately making Killer Queen touch all the coins. As Subaru witnesses from a little distance of what's going down, and Felt drops the actual insignia directly into Amelia's hand, and as it slowly drops, it feels like time itself freezes for a second, and all of a sudden a third person enters directly into the bar, and right when they do, they appear right in the middle of both of them during the exchange, swinging both blades towards each respective person. She swings her right blade directly towards Felt, and her left blade directly towards Amelia. But right when this is happening, and neither of them can process what's happening in time, as they look to the side and see 2 blades about to be swung directly towards their bowels, and a crouched down woman who has black hair and purple eyes, and quite the, questionable attire. As this is happening, both of them think they're about to die, before a 100 yen coin appears in the middle of both of them. And Elsa doesn't register that as a threat, so she continues with her attack until all of a sudden, the 100 yen coin just bursts into an explosion, a mini one, directly towards her head, and she's immediately gets blown backwards and lands halfway across the bar, or Old Man Rom's shop. And right when that happened, both Amelia and Felt looked towards Subaru, who had just flicked the coin, and said, I knew something was off. After all those years of playing Dark Souls has finally given me a sixth sense and danger. I knew that would be useful, he says in his head. And he says out loud, and they're both questioning what the fuck Dark Souls is. While Old Man Rom's also thinking, what type of drugs is he on and where can I get some? He thinks in his head. While Subaru is just staring at the corpse that he's expecting to see as the dust clouds from the explosion disappear. And right when they do, or right when they're about to completely disappear, he sees the assassin slingshot directly out of the smoke and rush towards Subaru at blinding speeds, appearing directly in front of him before he could say anything or do anything. In his mind, he screams out, fuck, before all of a sudden feeling a pain in his abdomen. Immediately seeing that his actual blood and his actual bowels are just coming directly out of his body, he immediately reaches down towards his gut and tries to put the actual bowels directly back into his, stomach. But the thing is, right when he's doing this and flicking coins rapidly at Elsa, thinking in his head, if I'm gonna die, I'm taking you with me. As he's flicking them towards Elsa, and Elsa sees this and just dodges every single coin. All 4 coins were dodged. She sees the first one coming up towards her. She immediately dodges to the left, seeing another one going right towards her face, dodges by literally getting to the ground as low as possible, and literally backflipping over the other ones. avoiding every single one of them as those two passed by her, avoiding the rest of them. But what she didn't know, she might have dodged the coins, but she can't dodge the explosion, as Subaru does a detonation actual gesture by pressing his hand downwards. And all of a sudden, an explosion ensues. 5 mini explosions all around the Bowl Hunter, behind her, a little bit in front of her, and a little bit under her, as all the coins were literally shot out at random different areas. Not directly going just for in front of her, but beside her and everywhere else. She thought that he was just a bad shot, and that's why some of them were beside her, or didn't even hit her entirely, but she was completely wrong. As the explosion ensued, she immediately gets flown backwards, directly into the literally smoke screen filled area that she was at before, which no longer has any smoke, crashing halfway into Old Man Rom's shop and destroying part of it, and having literally debris being crashed directly on top of her. And immediately Subaru says, that should have showed her, before he feels cold and he falls to the ground, still trying to lift himself up, but no longer feeling any of his body. He looks towards Amelia and sees her in a horrified state, same as felt in even Old Man Rom, staring at him with wide saucer eyes, and Amelia with tears in her eyes. All of a sudden, Subaru says, "Why are you crying?" he says to Amelia. While Amelia just looks at him and just points towards him. And Subaru looks down and says, "Oh, right. I forgot about that. It stopped hurting after I flung those coins." Before he immediately fell to the ground, face down, and tried to lift his head up one more time to see a glimpse of Amelia, before seeing Elsa burst out of the debris, rushing towards Amelia at blinding speeds and slashing directly towards her gut, spreading her bowels completely out of her. Her bowels hitting the ground, and then a slash going towards her neck, literally cutting her head directly off. And then kicking Felt directly towards where Rom is, while Rom pulled out his club, trying to swing directly towards Elsa. And then, right when he's witnessing this, he's in shock and says, I didn't save them. I didn't? Does that mean I just died for nothing?" He says in his mind, before he says, "No, I can't die. Can't die like this. Get up, he says in his mind. So dejected from the fact that he couldn't save Amelia, but he thinks there's still 2 other people. I just need to get up. Before he immediately touches the ground and says, "Killer Queen." He immediately tries to resummon out Killer Queen again. He summons it out, but it's ghostly now. It's completely disappearing and looks like it's fading. It's only half of it's still available. The legs are completely disintegrating, it seems. As he touches the ground, it's right onto the ground, and touches the chair that's on the ground, immediately using the last of his strength to lift himself up just barely off the ground and throwing the chair directly towards where Elsa is. Elsa just barely dodged the chair. She looked behind her. She dodges to the left, but all of a sudden an explosion ensues, and Elsa gets flung directly halfway across the bar again, and she screams in her head, "God damn it with these damn explosions." She immediately screams out, "I'm sick and tired of these motherfucking explosions in this motherfucking bar." She screams out in her head as she rushes towards Subaru, while Subaru says, "Run!" And immediately Old Man Rom grabs Felt and starts running outside, while Subaru feels an intense pain spread across his body again, as he can't speak anymore, as he's trying to scream from the pain and the coldness and heat itself. But when he tries to look downwards, he feels he can't. And all of a sudden, his position's completely upside down. And then he sees something fall beside him, which was his dead body with no head. He immediately thinks, "Oh, I died. I'm sorry, Mom and Dad. Before all of a sudden, everything turns black. And then he opens his eyes again and he sees directly in front of the apple guy that he passed by before he met Amelia. He thinks, wait, where am I? Is this can't be. As he looks at the sky and sees it's completely daytime again, he thinks maybe this could have been an ability from Killer Queen? He thinks, before thinking, no, it probably couldn't have been. I don't know how. Maybe this is just deja vu, he thinks in his mind. And that's What If Subaru Had Killer Queen Part 2. I hope you all enjoyed. And if you did, make sure you smash that like button and absolutely destroy that subscribe button. Also, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. All right, bye everyone.